keep a secret.
Get up, it's time, let's go. Girl, you in the party and I am watching. I'm from London, baby. Put that ass up on the floor, put that ass up on the floor, put that ass up on the floor, put that ass up on the floor.
Hey guys, what's up? It's RC Hobby, Steve here. Now today's video I'm going to be doing my Q&A, which is a question and answer video. Now I posted up a picture on my Instagram page a couple of days ago, I believe it was 2 days ago. So you guys can ask me some questions and I will answer them on my video. So you'll be featured here on my video. Now as I ask these, as I respond to these questions and tell you what the question is, it'll be on the video itself, so you'll see what the question is if you can't quite understand what I'm saying. But I'll try to speak as clearly as possible. So I have six people that have asked me questions. So the first person being Basher_Nation. Now his first question was, what's my favorite RC car? Now my favorite RC, being that I only have the Slash 4x4, I've seen plenty of RCs at the hobby store. I haven't quite seen any in person, like the SEX10, the Losi 5. I've seen the Losi 5T in a hobby store outside the box, but I've never seen it drive. I don't know how it sounds, but I have to say my favorite RC as of now would have to be the Slash 4x4, only because I have the Slash 4x4, so that's what I'm going to go with. His second question is, where do you bash at? Now, I take my truck everywhere I go when I can, especially my fiance. Now that she has one, she takes it most of the time, but I usually bash outside in front of the house, or just when I'm walking I just drive it wherever there's no cars or anything like that. So that's where I bash. The second person to ask a question is Queen Triumph _RC.
Why are you looking at me? Just
Because you're right there.
don't matter.
Okay, she asked me, who inspired you to get into the hobby? Now, I'm pretty sure if you know me, I based my truck off of a trophy truck. It's not much of a trophy truck, but to me it looks like a trophy truck, so we're just gonna put it that way. But the guy that inspired me to get into the hobby is Psychonix. I'll link down his YouTube in the description. He's a really cool kid. He started off just like me, and then he went off into building his own custom trophy trucks, which was pretty awesome. So I keep up with his page on Instagram and on YouTube, so I'll be sure to link both of those down in the description for you guys to see that. Her second question was, because you have the Slash and that's your first RC, if you was to go back, what RC would you have bought instead? Now, if I was to go back and instead of buying my Slash, I would have probably gone with either a Rustler, the VXL one with the TSM, or an SCX10. Let's see which one. Probably the no, not the Trailhunter. Either the Honcho or I think the Wrangler. It's the one with the roll cage, but it doesn't have the back piece. So it's either one of those. I was going to get a Rustler before I got this, but I was more into like a truck looking kind of vehicle, and a lot of people were telling me for my first hobby grade RC to get the Slash 4x4 because it's more of like, you know, first time thing and a lot of power, and I haven't really broke anything on this except a freaking ESC, which I gotta send back to Castle hopefully this week. But yeah, I would probably went with the Rustler more than the Axial, mainly because I'm more of a person that likes to go fast, and the Axial SCX10 doesn't go fast. It's more for like trailing. Alright. Third person is badass_slash. His question was, what's your first RC car? Now, my first RC car was not a slash 4x4, but it was a little, I believe it was 1/18. It was a 1/18 buggy from a China website. I don't know what the heck it was called, but yeah, that was my first RC. Fourth person to ask me a question. I'm not really sure how to pronounce your Instagram name, but me and my fiance call you Earl. That's how we say it, because we don't know how to pronounce the entire thing.
Hi, Arrow.
She says hi. Alright, your question was, if in the future you would buy your next RC, would it be land, air, or sea, and what brand? Now, for my next RC, it'll most likely be a land, because I don't see myself transitioning from a land to an air or sea. I always go to Toys R Us and I tell my fiance to be on the lookout for boats or submarines. I always have a thing for boats and submarines, but as an air, it'll probably be a DJI Phantom, either the 3 or the newest one, the 4, if I ever manage to save up enough money for it. But yeah, it'll most likely be a land for my next RC car. Alright, coming down to the last two people. Fifth question came from Python_RC. He asked, what is your dream RC? My dream RC, I don't really have a dream RC. Mainly, I've always talked about Truggies before I spoke about the Slash. But I would have to say an Axial SCX-10, because those things are just awesome and you can do so much with them. It would have to be the Wrangler. Anything that looks close to the Jeeps today. And so Wrangler is my kind of Jeep I like. And the last and final question comes from RC_cars_worldwide. He asked, have you ever been able to fly an RC? I believe that was the question. I completely did not write the entire question, but before, was it after or before I had the Slash? It was before I had the Slash, right?
What?
That I had my drone?
It was before.
That was before, okay. So before I even bought the Slash, when I was living out in New York, I'm currently now in Massachusetts, I went to a store called B&H, and it's a huge photo, computer, and audio store where you can buy a whole bunch of electronics. They sold drones such as the DJI and some other awesome drones, and I had some cash available, and I've always wanted to fly drones with the cameras, so I decided to buy a UDI RC drone. They're not expensive, they're good for first time flyers, and it's really durable. I remember the first time flying it out in a park, I slammed it into a freaking baseball gate and nothing happened to it. It comes with extra blades, propeller blades, and it doesn't really last that long. I'm not sure if you can upgrade the battery. I'm pretty sure now you could probably switch it to a LiPo or whatever. But yeah, that was my first time flying any RC, besides Air Hogs. But I wouldn't consider that a hobby grade RC vehicle. So yeah, so those are the questions you guys asked me. If you guys have any more questions, you can just ask me on my Instagram page, rchobby_steve. My fiance I'm probably going to get her into making videos soon while I'm talking about her ECX tournament. At the moment it's out of service because her motor wire broke, but I might be hooking her up Saturday, either with the brushless system or the Traxxas 12 turn, I believe, brushed motor, just to give it a little bit more power. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave comments down below, message me on Instagram, and be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and thanks for watching, guys. Peace.